Good to see you. Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about the power to choose. You know, the greatest part of our life is changes and choices, or choices and changes. Something changes in the world around us. We have to make a choice. We accept it. We reject it. We like it. We don't like it. Or we make a choice and something changes in the world around us. And that choice is usually based on what will make us happiest. Now, that being said, do you ever feel like you are inundated with too many choices? For me, they're everywhere. And sometimes they're just meaningless little mundane choices, but they're there and they wear me down. You know, when I was 4 or 5 years old, we got our first television set, and there was one channel. It's very easy. You make the choice to turn it on or turn it off. 5 years later, we got up to 3 channels and stayed that way for the greatest part of my life until 10 years ago, I guess. I was the remote control. My father said, "Duke, put it on channel 11. Duke, put it on channel 13. Duke, put it back on channel 11. And as a 4-year-old, there was a certain amount of fun with that. Our telephone was a football plastic square box that was just indestructible. It did only one thing, and that is make a call. Today, we have over 200 different television channels that we can tune into, and at times I still can't find anything that I want to watch. My cell phone has so many different functions to it that I can't figure it out. In addition, it has codes and it has passwords. And if I forget the code or password, it actually interrogates me by asking questions about something that happened 50 years ago. And if I can't remember that, I have to go through this lengthy process of getting it changed, and it's crazy. Now, get this. I bought a new iPhone about a year ago, the latest model, and it has all these functions on it. I don't know how to use them all, but there are over 1 million apps that I can put on that phone. 1 million apps. For those of you who don't know what an app is, it's an application that does something other than make a call. There's apps here, over 1 million. Over 1 million apps. How do you choose which app to get or which app to use whenever you want to use it? It's just wild. If you go to the grocery store, the average grocery store has over 200 different kinds of soup, over 200 different varieties of cookies, over 150 different kinds of salad dressing. And that's before we get to the ice cream department. When I go to buy ice cream, I don't know what happens. Something comes over me. I'll stand there in front of the cooler, looking through the glass doors, and I just fall into a zombie-like state. I can't make a decision. And I look, and I look, and I look, and occasionally somebody will come and stand next to me. And so I'll reach out and grab a hold of the handle and continue to look. And then they'll clear their throat or something, so I'll open the door and continue to look. And pretty soon my glasses are fogging up, my body's going numb with cold, but I can't make a decision on what kind of ice cream to buy because there's too many different kinds. I actually had a lady at one time that recognized this problem that I got, and she kind of moved around in front of me, got a quart of ice cream, handed it to me, and shut the door. Made the decision for me. Now, there's 2 things that we know for sure. One is everybody in this room, everybody on this planet wants a better quality life. Isn't that right? Even life is good, we want it to be better. And so we're always looking for ways to become happier. Now, our happiness is based on having what we value or being in the midst of experiencing what we value at any given time. If we value good health, that's one thing. We value financial security, that makes us happy. We value being around people that are loving and that appreciate us, that makes us feel good, that makes us feel happy. We are happy when we value, or when we're in the midst of experiencing something that we value. Now, Jesus talked about the kingdom of heaven. And he said, if you keep your focus on the kingdom of heaven, you'll have everything else that you want. Now, he wasn't talking about a destination that we may or may not go to after we die. He wasn't talking about a place, but he was talking about consciousness, the kingdom of the mind, our consciousness. And if we focus on the kingdom, which is characterized by peace of mind, if we focus on the kingdom and we maintain peace of mind, everything else that we value in our lives is going to increase in value as well. Now, I spent most of my life pursuing happiness, as I'm sure many of you have as well. When I was a little kid, I remember my friend Terry getting an allowance. It's the first time I'd ever heard of anything like that. He had his own money in his pocket, and it wasn't designated to spend on anything. And so I thought if I could get an allowance, I'd be happy. Then as I got a little older and I went to school, I didn't like school. And I thought, when I get out of school, then I'll be happy. And then when I turned 16 and I wanted to get my driver's license and then a car, it was when I get a driver's license and a car, then I'll be happy. And then when I went away to school and came back, I thought, if I have my own pad, then I'll be happy, outside the authority of my parents. And it was always one thing after another that I was pursuing to be sure that would make me happy once I got it. So here I am, many years later, and I've got everything that I once wanted. I don't have to go to school. Got my own pad. Social Security sends my allowance every week or every month. Yet there's still times when I am pursuing something out there, something outside of myself to make me happy. And a lot of the stress that I experience, which is the second thing we all know for sure, we all experience extreme stress from time to time. A lot of the stress I experience is trying to pursue something I think will make me happy, or trying to change something that I think will make me happy, or trying to adjust the way somebody behaves because I think that'll make me happy. It's that pursuit of something that I have no control over that creates stress in my life and actually holds me back from my happiness. Time is a big factor for all of us. Time can be very stressful. We don't have enough time, or we're going to be late. We don't have enough time to get a certain project done. Or time moves on, we're aging, and we don't necessarily like that. We'd like for time to stop. Time can be very stressful. I oftentimes talk to people, and I know that I have this in my life as well, where they're trying to change somebody in their life. It might be a family member or a good friend or something that has an alcohol problem or a drug addiction problem. And they try to change that person to live their life the way they want them to live it. We might have influence over other people, but we can never control them. And oftentimes, this unhappiness in the way somebody else is lasts for an entire lifetime. The people never do change. And what actually happens is the lower quality of their life brings the quality of our life down because we're concerned about them. Part of their existence runs over into ours. If we want to be happy, it is acquiring what we value in our life to the degree that we desire. Now, think of it this way. If you want to be happy, you have to have what you value in your life, but you have to be very, very clear about what that is. Oftentimes, we think our happiness rests on something in the outer world, something in the material world. If I get a new car, I'll be happy. If I get a new relationship, I'll be happy. If I get something out there, I'll be happy. And we all know that the material world is great. We love different things in the material world, but the happiness soon wears off. It doesn't last. It becomes commonplace. We become used to it. So that takes us off in search of something else. So true happiness can only happen in the emotional realm. And the emotional realm is what everything ends up at. No matter what experience you're having, no matter what situation or circumstance you're going through, everything results in an emotional experience. So if we value the emotion and we determine the kind of person that we want to become or the way we want to feel, we're going to increase our happiness. Now, when Jesus talked about the kingdom of heaven, he talked about peace. He was oftentimes called the Prince of Peace because peace is the first priority. If we don't have peace of mind, everything else seems to fall short. It's very difficult to feel well physically if our mind is disturbed. It's very difficult to have harmony in a relationship if we don't have peace of mind. It's very difficult to love if we don't have peace of mind. Peace of mind has to come first. It has to be first and foremost. It has to take precedence in our lives. If we have peace of mind, then everything else that we desire, everything else we value will be there as well. But peace of mind is so important. But the problem is we don't always have that. We get dislodged from our peaceful place, or somebody somehow gets into our head and they steal our peace of mind away. So what are we to do? Well, to increase our happiness is to increase our peace of mind. And the first thing we need to do is to truly commit to it. That peace of mind is going to be first and foremost what I pursue. The second thing is to set our intention to increase our peace of mind. And we can do that in many, many different ways. But the primary way is through the choices we make. Every choice we make has one or three results. Either we move in one direction and we embrace whatever happening as a result of the choice. We move in another direction. We reject whatever is happening as a result of the choice. Or we're just neutral. Nothing happens. Every change that takes place in our world, every person that comes into our presence, everything that happens out there, those same three things take place. We either like it and embrace it, or we don't like it and reject it, or we just remain neutral. It doesn't make any difference to us. So when we're moving through our lives and something comes in that creates a change of sort, whether it's a person, place, or a thing, there is that stimulus that hits us, our perceptive view of what is happening hits us, and then there's a little bit of a space, and then we react to it. Now, that little bit of a space is crucial because that's when the determination is made, either consciously or unconsciously, what we're going to do next. Somebody comes up to me, they're very angry about something that's happening at the church, they start yelling at me, calling me names. That is the stimulus that hits me. I have a choice as to how I'm going to react to it, and then I do react. But it's that space in the middle where if you feel yourself starting to get upset, you feel yourself disturbed, you feel yourself getting angry, there is that space where you can determine peace of mind is my priority, and that is how I'm going to react to that. And you can do that with the most obstinate, belligerent, rude, bellicose, asinine person that is in your presence. You have the power to remain at peace. They can't take that from you. Your power of choice is yours. You can let them choose for you, but that defeats the entire purpose. We're going to follow this up next week and talk about the process of making choices, talk about the power to choose, and talk about some of the different things we can do to really solidify within us this presence of peace that can withstand any sort of offense in the world around us. So as we go to meditation, just take a moment and think about your life. Is there anything you're upset about? Is there anything that's bothering you? Is there anything out there that you're afraid of, that you're worrying about? Is there a person in your life that you're concerned about because they have some very destructive habits? Take that into mind. Generate peace of mind first, and then the solution to all your problems will come easily. We now move into meditation.